All right, guys. So we do want to welcome everybody. It's great to have you all here. It is Saturday, November the 22nd. In fact, Saturday before Thanksgiving, and we in Bryte Lyfe have so much to be thankful for. We are certainly thankful and grateful for this opportunity. We're thankful that Wes Melcher had the presence of mind and heart to put this together. And with that, guys, we're going to bring on our founder, our president, the brains behind what you see here, Wes Melcher. So, Wes, I hope you are doing great this morning. I know you wanted to come on with some kind of a special holiday announcement, so we always, are excited about that. So, do you want to, Wes? You want to highlight your video, or do I need to do it from my end?
No, I got it. I'm gonna
Okay,
actually,
perfect.
I'll be able to share my screen. So thank you, Denson. Appreciate you for everything you do for the team and leading by example. I saw that you had some great events this week in Memphis and in some other markets as well. I know we're working on some events for Atlanta. We had a new event this week in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We added a Tuesday night event to our already really popular Thursday event schedule. So we've got two Bryte Lyfe nights going on in the DFW area. So make sure you watch the Facebook groups if you have people that are in that area. Make sure that you get a chance to show your teams where there's meetings happening and use this as a blueprint for your business so that you can actually get with your team and start doing local events. In fact, the holiday season is a perfect time to start Bryte Lyfe Nights if you've not already done that. People are looking to start spending money. In fact, this coming week is the week where more money is spent than any other single week of the year. So that's a really big deal. And that's why we wanted to talk today, a little preview of a holiday campaign that we're going to be launching officially tomorrow night on our corporate call. We've got an entire blueprint lined up for the holidays, way to capitalize on the holidays, regardless of what holidays you're celebrating or where in the world you might be. We've made this kind of a generic season of giving, give the gift of life. And so I want to give you a little preview of what we've been working on and what we're going to be announcing tomorrow night on the regular corporate call, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time USA. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time USA. And so adjust your time zones accordingly. That's our regular corporate Zoom. So we will be kicking off this very special holiday campaign tomorrow officially on that call. But because all of you are here today, I wanted to share a little bit about what we're going to be doing. And so, this holiday season, we're going to be focusing on giving the gift of life. What does that mean? Well, for those of you that remember last year, I actually posted a video, and I'll probably reshare it on my Instagram page and on my TikTok page about we are giving the gift of life. We're not giving gifts, and we're doing that again this year. So myself and my daughter, we celebrate our holidays a little bit differently. We've done this since she was little. And so this holiday season, we are not giving gifts again. We are actually going to Australia. And so we're going to be going to Australia to work with our Bryte Lyfe team in Australia. And then she and I are going to be spending our Christmas on the Great Barrier Reef. Now, Gianna and I, we love the ocean. We love the water. And I've spent a lot of time in Australia. In fact, I lived in Australia for about 6 to 9 months, about 20 years ago. So I've spent a lot of time in Australia, but I've never been to the Great Barrier Reef because the Great Barrier Reef is up north on the northeast side of Australia and Cairns, which is there, and we have a team there. I never actually did any business there. And so I didn't never make it up to the Great Barrier Reef. It's been on my bucket list. And so this is a really cool experience because we're combining Bryte Lyfe, bucket list, and the fact that my daughter now is a sophomore in high school and she's going to be graduating in 2 years. For those of you that were in the Bahamas, you heard me talk about creating memories with your family and with your loved ones. And so we're really going to be focusing on this message over the next 6 weeks as we get through the holiday season, regardless of what your religion is or what holidays you may be celebrating. I know not everybody's celebrating Thanksgiving at the same time we do here in the US, but we're just going to be focused on giving people experiences, giving people memories. And so tomorrow night, I'm going to walk you through exactly the blueprint of our calendar. Well, we're going to be talking about ways to increase your sales, but not only that, ways to create memories. We've got some concepts where people can look at using Bryte Lyfe as a travel savings account, as a holiday savings account for their memories and for their dreams, because that's what we focus on. And so Bryte Lyfe is so much more than a travel company. I talked about this a lot in the Bahamas about how all of our other competitors in the direct sales space are travel companies. And what's funny is literally the week after I gave that message in the Bahamas, one of our competitors announced that they're going to be doing sports and concerts literally the week after I gave that message. So they are watching us. Everybody is paying attention to what we're doing, but we're the only company that really gets to give the gift of life. None of the other product companies, none of the other service companies, they all are selling products. They are all selling another service. And we're literally selling life. We are giving people the opportunity to create memories with their friends, with their families, with their loved ones, have a healthier lifestyle. You know, we've got so many testimonials from Corey's challenges leading up to the Bahamas and then coming out of the Bahamas. We've had so many people that have made lifestyle changes. And that's why the name of the company is Bryte Lyfe. And so it's so much more than travel. It's so much more than golf or sports or music or entertainment or even wellness. When you roll it all together and you really look at what we've built, we are giving people the gift of life. And so I would encourage you, as you start thinking about what you want to give for the holidays, consider this. When you give somebody the Bryte Lyfe membership, you can sign them up and give them the membership. You don't have to worry about the influencer or the business or even explaining the business to them. You can pay the $199 for their first month to give them the Bryte Lyfe membership, and you're going to get 100 travel dollars back. So that means that you could literally give someone the gift of life as a rep, as an influencer for $99. I mean, you think about that, what you can give people. I know with inflation and prices, and it's crazy because I noticed this when I take my daughter to fast food places. You know, I remember in college, you know, I could go to Taco Bell and I could get like 4 or 5 bean burritos or tacos for like $3, you know, because it was on like the 39-cent menu. So I could get 4 or 5 burritos or tacos plus a soft drink when I was in college, and it would be like $3. Now you can't even get any of the combo meals at Taco Bell for under $15. Like I take my daughter, and it's so funny because I put money in her lunch account, and at her school, they have Chick-fil-A and Pizza Hut, and they have Starbucks, and they have acai bowls. And it's a bare minimum of $15 a day. I mean, that's just for her school lunch. And so when you look at inflation and you think that you could give somebody a Bryte Lyfe membership as an influencer because you pay the $199 for them, you get 100 travel dollars, so it really costs you $99, and you're literally giving somebody a gift that could change their life, that could create memories, that could change their family tree, the way they look at life, the way they travel, the way they celebrate holidays. So I would encourage all of you to have conversations with your friends and family about not giving trinkets, not giving the regular tchotchke, white elephant, you know, things that, you know, you could ask my daughter, and this is a perfect example. You could ask her what I gave her 3 Christmases ago, 4 Christmases ago, 5 Christmases ago, before we started doing the gift of life. And she couldn't tell you any of the gifts, right? Like, I mean, obviously I get her things even when we do our trips and we've been giving the gift of life, and then we've adopted some families every year for the holidays. We've done all of these things. She can't tell you any of the actual gifts that she's gotten over the years at Christmas time. But what she can tell you is she can tell you all the times that we've gone to families. There was one time we adopted a family at Christmas, and their house had just burned down during Thanksgiving. They had a cooking accident in their home. Their house burned down. We came, they were staying at a friend's house. They were some people we met through the church, and we gave them gifts. She still talks about that. She was like 6 or 7 years old when we did that. And then you can talk to her about all of the things we've done at Christmas. Last year, we went to the Bahamas early for the Bryte Lyfe trip. So we spent New Year's and the week after Christmas in the Bahamas last year. She remembers all of that. She can tell you every detail. And the reason is because memories and experiences give off a chemical reaction in the brain, in the mind, that anchor you to that experience. Music, sports, concerts, travel, memories, all of these things create memories. I was just looking back, this last week was the 1 year anniversary of my father's death. And I was looking back over some of our photos, choosing which photos I was going to post. One of my favorite photos, and I'd already posted it on a couple of other posts, so I didn't share it this week, was my dad and my brother and I at the World Series. My dad grew up an Atlanta Braves fan, and I know Denson will appreciate that. In fact, Denson and I had this conversation. When you grew up as a kid my age, you only rooted for two different teams. You either rooted for the Cubs or you rooted for the Braves. Why? Because there was only two channels where you could watch baseball when I was growing up as a kid. You could either watch WGN, which aired the Cubs and Harry Carey and the voice of the Cubs growing up, or you watched TNN, TNT, which was the Braves channel, the Ted Turner network, where they aired the Braves games. And I grew up a Braves fan when it was not popular to be a Braves fan because my dad was a Braves fan. I was a Dale Murphy fan who got cheated, who I believe should be in the Hall of Fame, did not make it in the Hall of Fame because he played on the Braves and they were so bad during those years. If he would have been like, Freddie Freeman and gotten on to the Dodgers or somebody else, but back in the day, those players played for life. And they didn't change teams like all these players do now. It wasn't about just the money. It was about much more than that. And so, growing up watching the Braves, my dad was a Braves fan, and so he never went to the World Series to watch his team. And so when the Braves played the Astros in the World Series, I think it was about 5 years ago, some of the games were in Houston. So my brother and I, my dad was already dealing with health issues, but my brother and I worked it out to where we took my dad to the World Series. And that memory, that experience, I have that photo. I've got it up here in my office. That was one of my favorite experiences. We also took my dad to the Masters about 10 years ago. And so the Masters, the World Series, I will never forget those moments, like until the day I die. Those are two of my most fond memories. My dad and I, we took our shoes off at the Masters and we walked, and I'll never forget my dad talking about the grass. This is the most perfect grass he's ever experienced. So we took our shoes off at the Masters and we walked around on the grass because not a blade of grass is out of place at Augusta. And so, if I didn't have these memories, if we were just giving regular gifts and trinkets over the holidays and not having these experiences and not taking these trips and not doing these sporting events, I would be missing parts of my memory bank that you could never replace. And so I would just encourage all of you to talk to your family and talk to your friends about giving the gift of life this holiday season. Don't just make it about the gifts. Don't just make it about shoes and underwear and trinkets and clothes and things that you'll forget weeks from now, months from now, and for sure years from now. Talk to your family about investing in their memories and experiences and adding the Bryte Lyfe membership so that you can get so much more for your money. And tomorrow night, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I've dialed it in. We've got an entire campaign centered around this that's going to help you promote it and share it as people are spending money this week on Black Friday and then again on Cyber Monday. People are spending money on things that they're never going to remember, that they're going to forget immediately, that their kids are not going to remember. And yet we could be sharing things with them that they could literally do with their family, that their family and their children and their husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, family will remember their entire lives. That's what we do here at Bryte Lyfe. And so I'm excited to share this with you tomorrow night. This is going to be an incredible campaign for us. This holiday season is going to be great for us. Remember, people are shopping this weekend. The early Black Friday sales have already started. So you should be inviting to tomorrow night. In fact, invite guests or people that are on the fence or maybe haven't signed up yet onto our corporate call tomorrow night, because I'm going to be talking about giving the gift of life tomorrow night on our corporate call. And this is kicking off our giving campaign and our Give the Gift of Life campaign. And so you're going to hear more about this tomorrow night, but get your people on for the call tomorrow night, our Sunday night corporate call, and then followed up by the Zoom call for your prospects, because people are spending money. I know the economy in different areas and the job market and the stock market and crypto and all this stuff. But I'm telling you, it does not stop Black Friday. It does not stop Cyber Monday. More money will be spent this week on things that people will forget immediately than any other week of the entire year. So what can we do to change that narrative and really focus on people giving the gift of life as opposed to giving the gift of junk, right? Let's be honest. All these things that people are giving, the toys, the trinkets, the things, they're not going to remember them. They're going to forget about them, if, like I said, if not weeks, months, and definitely within years of you giving it to them, and probably a lot less than that, unfortunately. And so let's change the narrative. Let's change the holiday season. Let's make it about giving. Let's make it about experiences. Let's make it about memories. We are the experience company. We are the entertainment company. We are the music, sports, travel, lifestyle company. So let's don't forget it. Let's focus on that this holiday season. Let's invite this weekend while you're watching games. I know there's football games on and it's getting close to the end of the year for playoffs and stuff. The games matter more. But look, while you're sitting there, I'm going to be doing it. If I'm watching games this weekend, I'm going to be inviting to tomorrow night's call. You should be too. So thank you, Denson, for letting me come on and share a little bit today. This will be posted immediately afterwards. So get your team back to this to hear about what's happening tomorrow night. We're going to be sending out a reminder as well. So you'll be able to get your team on the call tomorrow night and hear the entire holiday campaign message that I'll be giving tomorrow night. And we'll be putting that out all over social media. So thanks so much, Denson. I appreciate you.
All right, and Wes, I want you to hang around. What I'm going to do is go live into the app this morning, and I think you would be the perfect guy to, it may be a couple of things that you want to bring out because, guys, this is what you're going to be giving people, and you really want to understand 100% because some people have never been into their app, and that's one thing that you want to be sure. So Wes, do you have a minute to hang around with us?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
all right, great. So what I am gonna do is this. Okay, I'm gonna actually do it from my other device here. So let me make myself hold on a second. I'm actually on here twice. Okay, so let me make myself co-host so I can share my screen. And guys, what I'm gonna do is again, I am gonna go live into the app. Uh Here we go. Okay, great. All right, so let me do this real quick. See if I can share my screen now. It looks weird when I'm looking into another screen. So let me do this. All right, so guys, what I'm doing is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going live into the app, actually on my iPad, but it's the same on your phone. Okay, so basically, when you go into the app, your home screen is, of course, this is your bucket list countdown here. This tells you exactly how many members you have. And the bottom line is this, okay, if you're starting brand new, our billing cycle is every 28 days. So your first goal is to have your first two within your first 27 days. If you do that, then instead of being charged 179 for the second month, you'll actually get a statement saying that zero is due. So that gives you a great goal is to go on and get your first two as quickly as possible. Now, if you don't get your first two, it's no big deal because when you put in your list for your bucket list, what's going to happen is, of course, you've got locations in here for every year that you are an active member. Wes is going to actually fulfill one of these. In fact, we've got quite a few people that have, actually been awarded, literally, guys, hundreds of people that have been awarded bucket list trips. And these trips, range anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. So if you now, Wes, let me ask you this. Is it imperative? I know the answer to this question, but does a person have to put their 10 in order to be awarded?
Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
if you just scroll up a little bit, you'll also see on there that the terms and conditions are all listed at the bottom of our website and at the top. So you can see all the rules to the bucket list. And so there's no gotchas, there's no gimmicks. I'm not going to say any names right now, but a lot of our competitors, let's just say that they don't have any of their terms and conditions, MWR. They don't have any of their terms and conditions about their loyalty program. So if you click that terms and conditions there, over on the right side of the screen on your app, you'll see all the rules. So you'll see when you're going to get notified, how the trips are chosen, what you're given. Everything is there. All the FAQs basically of the program are all right there. So there's no gotchas, there's no gimmicks. We want to give these trips away, but you do have to follow the program. So you do have to have all 10 choices selected before you're awarded your trip. You have to be active when you're awarded. You have to be active when you book and when you travel. These are very simple things that are very straightforward, and they're all in there. And everything is in black and white. It's been there since before we launched the trips. We've never changed it. We haven't amended anything. But I'm just telling you that MWR and several of our competitors that have copied or tried to copy our loyalty program, they have no terms and conditions. They have no rules or policies or procedures around these loyalty programs that they've created. And that's actually an FTC violation. So very important that you know that we're above board. We want to give these trips away. We're not trying to not give them away, but we do need you to select all 10 and to follow the program and make sure you understand the rules there. But just like I said, just pointing out that a lot of our competitors that have tried to copy our program, they have no idea how they're going to give away what they're talking about. There's no rules to it. There's no terms and conditions anywhere on their websites like they should. So this is something that we're really proud of. And like Denson said, we've given away hundreds of these trips already. Hundreds.
Now, Wes, this is a key question because I know people look at this and you have to wonder, man, how can the company do this? Because I took one trip that we've already awarded to several people. I went directly to that resort. It was like a $5,100 stay. How do you do this, Wes? I mean, if I went to that resort, I would pay $5,000. How can you give this away with the price of our membership?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not paying retail, and so you're able to leverage our buying power because we've got multi-destination contracts with several of these vendors, meaning that if we're dealing with the Le Méridien or the JW Marriott, we're not just using the Le Méridien Maldives, which we are, we're using other Le Méridien properties. In fact, we're also using the Le Méridien in Split, Croatia, which is the highest rated five-star hotel in Split, Croatia. And so we've sent several members to Split, to the Le Méridien. We've sent several members to the Le Méridien Maldives, and stayed in all of the rooms that we're booking at the Le Méridien in the Maldives are overwater bungalows, as you all have probably heard me say. And so that's one of the ways we're able to get the deals. Same thing with the JW Marriott. Same thing with the Conrad. We have multiple destinations that we have contracted, and we're committing at each of those destinations, in some cases, 300 nights, 600 nights, 500 nights. And so you're not going to ever get the price that we're getting them for as an individual. So you're getting to use our leverage by being a member and paying the 179 and use the leverage of hundreds of thousands of dollars and what next year will be millions of dollars in bucket list trips that we're buying because you're getting our savings because we can afford to give it to you for free because of what we're buying it for.
You know what, Wes? I just thought about something. This is really, guys, the Costco model of travel. Because if you think about what Costco does, they do the exact same thing. Would you agree, Wes?
Yeah, except they don't give it to you for free at Costco. But their
Oh, they
model
do.
of buying it in bulk is definitely similar to the way that they're able to get the prices so low because of the bulk that you're buying. And so that's Costco, most people don't know. Costco makes more profit on their membership fees that they collect than on every good that they sell in every single Costco store. So they make more money on that margin on the membership than they do off of the billions of dollars of stuff that they sell over the years at Costco.
Wow, that's amazing. And guys, when you look at the success of that business model, and Wes has applied that to travel, that gives you an idea of the potential and what's going to happen here. So I appreciate that. Now, the next icon, now I'm at the icons at the bottom. You can see me moving here. Okay, so again, if you've not done this, the first thing that you want to do is pay attention to your countdown. You want to become Free Life qualified with at least 2 referrals. And then, of course, you want to do that as quickly as you can. But even if you pay your 179 for, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, it doesn't matter because again, you're going to get a trip that you would have to pay $3,000 to $5,000 for. And, of course, once you get your 2, then, we waive the fee. Now, the next icon at the bottom is where you book travel. This is actually a map here at the bottom of the page. So I put in Las Vegas for a random date. Okay, January the 4th through the 15th. 14th through the 15th. I did one day because I want you to see the savings here. And, Wes, I'm glad I've got you on here because you'll be able to explain this. Now, the Rio Hotel, I'm going to tell you guys about this hotel here. Okay, it's not as nice as the newer hotels out there, but it is very nice, probably nicer than any hotel that most people have ever stayed in. My wife and I, when we had an event in Vegas, we actually stayed at this hotel. They just renovated one of their towers. Caesar's Palace originally built it, but the Hyatt actually just bought it. They redid a tower in West. We actually got a suite on a high floor with a view of the strip for like $9 a night. Okay. And it was incredible. I mean, we walked in because what I was expecting is at $9 a night, I was expecting to walk in and walk right back out and find another hotel. But no, it was unbelievable. And, guys, so you'll notice here that they've got the Rio for as little as, $5.99 instead of what is that, $47.63 or the Link Hotel at $7.99. So we see those as well as some of your nicer hotels like Resorts World. Many of us stayed at the Conrad at Resorts World and saved $700 a night. Now, one thing, Wes, and I want you to address this, okay? We've got the 88% savings badge here, right? But if we go down, of course, many of these have badges on them, but if we go down far enough, it won't show a percentage of savings, okay? Wes, does that mean that there is no savings beyond that? Like on these hotels here, does that mean that there is no savings, or what does that mean exactly? Like that Hilton Grand?
No, definitely not. In fact, it's a really good point to bring up, and we try to share this with as many people as we can, is that those yellow badges are created by us. Those are part of our AI search technology. And so what we do is when you put your city and dates in, there's 2 things that happen simultaneously. One, our AI search goes out and tries to find the best retail prices at each place that's going to show back in the results. And then our technology sorts through over 3 million properties that we have under contract. And so what happens is we have parameters. So we build in the code and the programming that if there was not results back within 5 seconds, that Four Seasons that you just scrolled past right there, that's a good example. That Four Seasons property, that I'm guessing just because I know this area and I do these searches often, that Four Seasons, that's probably 40 to 50% off of what the price is at that Four Seasons. But when we put those parameters in the code, if it doesn't, the AI doesn't pull back because we have 3 million properties, and Vegas is a perfect example. We have hundreds of hotels in Vegas. So AI doesn't return a savings badge within 5 seconds. It doesn't show up, but that doesn't mean that you're not paying wholesale on everything that doesn't have a badge. In fact, you are. Everything in our search engine, everything on our platform is wholesale. We don't make a dime on anything, not one single thing. So it's all wholesale, but some cases you will not see savings badges, and sometimes it's random. Sometimes it times out. And so by the time your results come back, you don't see as many badges. Sometimes you see more. Like I said, it does depend on the destination. If you're searching, Biloxi, right? Mississippi, you probably are going to see savings badges on most of the hotels because there's only, 20 or 30 hotels in that region right there. But this is the way our technology works. You're still getting wholesale, but it's always good for you to go kick the tires and compare to Booking.com or Expedia. You're going to see the savings. All of our competitors out there in the direct sales space that have savings badges, they are using bogus data, fake data, old data. Whenever they're pulling back those resorts, you're going to see that the data is not realistic. It's not current. It's not a real-time savings. It's actually old, outdated data or historical data. So you're going to see that oftentimes whenever you do those searches. You're going to see that that on our competitor sites, the savings is not accurate. So really important to keep that in mind whenever you're doing the searches. That there's not always going to be a savings badge. That doesn't mean that you're not still saving a large percentage.
Yeah, you look at this Harris, which is right there in the middle of the strip at $7.99. That would probably be $200 on Expedia. Would you think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's hard to say. Vegas right now is running a lot of sales and promotions. And like I said, people are getting ready to spend money over the next week. And the travel industry knows it. I mean, people spend money on travel this week. It's not just electronics and TVs and PlayStations.
Right, right, absolutely. So, guys, this is what you want to do. Okay, if you've got a hotel that you see and it doesn't have it does not show a savings, no big deal. You just want to go to Expedia and compare it, like Wes said, go kick the tires at another site. And one thing that you'll see too is this, and I think this is important, Wes, for you to address. Okay, like we see, because I've done this before. I have seen a price like ours might show, we won't take that one. Let's take this link here. It might show $30, but then we go to Expedia, it might show 149.
Yeah.
um our system, what is our system showing here?
Well, it shows where we can find the best retail price, and so we use a
Okay.
lot of different sources, and it changes. It's an evolving code because a lot of the competitors that are out there, the OTAs, the online travel agencies, they don't like you pulling their data, and they can see it. They can see when our programs and systems are going out and doing searches that are robotic in nature. And so, you don't know what you're getting it from because we pull from so many different sources. But this is the thing that makes our technology so unique because none of our competitors have this. None, not a single one.
Wow, unbelievable. Okay, so I appreciate that. So how do you use this, guys? Again, you go to the bottom of the app, you click, this is a map, you click that map icon, you put your destination in, you put your dates in, and you search, and we're just going to give you the highest percentage of savings down. Okay, now the dollar sign, what is this? the You've got a lot of different savings here. Like World Vantage is a private golf and lifestyle network. Now, here, if you are a golfer and you're ready to book a tee time, you'll click to book your tee time, and that's going to create your membership here. Don't go to create your membership before you need a tee time. Once you're ready to book a tee time, then you go on and click this. You want to watch just go through. Once you're ready to book a tee time, you click here to book tee times, and it'll create everything. Now there is also here, yeah, here you go. So all of your links are here. Now, Wes, if there's anything that you want to say, about this, you want to watch this video up top too before enrolling the benefit. But is it anything that you want to add about World Vantage before we move off of this?
No, I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, okay, awesome. So, guys, you've got your World Vantage benefit, you've got member deals, all of your, different benefits are here. Like if you want to book, to go to the foundation room in one of these markets, we've got them in Anaheim, Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, Dallas, Houston, Las Vegas, New Orleans. You click here, and of course it's going to send an email to concierge@brytelyfe.com, and they will get you past the lines. Okay, so that's very, very significant. Okay, don't take that for granted, because again, it's about access. And then of course you've got access to Porter yachts, Porter jets, which, don't let me just glaze over this, guys. This is private yacht charters. Porter Jets is, private jets. And of course, we get discounted pricing there as well. Benefit Station is Japanese market only. So if you're in Japan, then of course you want to get familiar with that. So all of your benefits, guys, are here. I don't have to go through each one of them. We're constantly adding to this area. You'll find that under the $. Now, where do you find the upcoming events that we have? It is a fire icon here. Our next event, of course, is going to be on South Beach in Florida, in Miami. And, of course, you can get your tickets here. You can reserve a spot, but to get the hotel, folks, you actually want to go to book travel, okay, and get your hotel through the app, okay? So very, very simple. Now, the last icon to your right is the menu. And this menu button here is going to take you to many different things. Okay. I've had people that have asked me, look, where do I get well life information? Where is that? It's located here. So you can change your payment methods. You can see your reservations. You can, get information about well life. And guys, it's a lot of hidden information here in well life that can save you money. Like anything to do with your health, whether it's a fitness membership or Zumba classes or whatever, you'll have access to it here. So this is something that you definitely want to be familiar with, because this is going to save you tremendous amounts of money as well. Resort weeks. This is where you'll find, resort weeks if you want to book those weeks of excess timeshare inventory. Okay. This is where you get access to that. And then, of course, Bryte Lyfe Shop. Okay, if you click that, you can get all of your Bryte Lyfe gear in our Bryte Lyfe store. So, if you want to really represent, then, you can go here and get gear. If you want to give something away for, the holidays to maybe some of your reps, you can do that as well. So that's Bryte Lyfe Shop. And then, of course, you go down in the back office, contacts. This is very important. When you go into contacts, this is where our app will integrate with the technology on your phone. So let's say that you take somebody to a meeting, you bring them to a webinar, and you want to share your sign up link with them. You see this link at the bottom here. When you click that, then there are several links that you can send them. One is a member only referral. If you want to send them an influencer only referral, you can. If you want to send them a sign up link, you can. If you want to share the video with them, you can. So if I click, let's just say sign up link, then it's going to create that link. So I can copy the link and send it over text. Or if I want to send it, through my phone, then I can click messages and actually create a text message that'll have that link in it. But the thing about this particular way of sending it is, do not ever, if you create this link for a person, this link is personal to that person. So what you want to do is just be sure that you don't send this link out to another person, because it'll put them in an orphan file. So you absolutely want to be sure that if you do it this way, you create a separate link for each person. Okay, so that does integrate, with your technology. And it's one other thing that we use quite a bit, and that's the Bryte Lyfe compensation plan. We actually send this to people. Now, this is what's so awesome about our comp plan, is that it fits on one sheet of paper. So all of the rules to the comp plan are here. In fact, look at this. What are the rules to how do you qualify for our comp plan? Number one, you become an influencer for $19.99 per month. Influencers, within a 28-day grace period, are also considered to be qualified. What do you need? You need one personally enrolled member on the left and one personally enrolled member on the right. They must be active in place. And then your total Bryte Lyfe memberships and your left teams and right teams must meet these levels. They must be active, they must be placed, and they must be paid. Now, what does paid mean? Paid means that they paid the $179 that month. If it's, if I'm in your group and I've got my 2 and I don't have to pay my $179, I'm not a paid member. Even though I'm an active member, I didn't have to pay the $179, guys. The company only pays on people that pay. Okay, that should make sense to you. So if you look down the list here, we teach the duplication of 2. So What does that mean? That means that when you've got 5 paid members on your left and 5 paid members on your right, you're at a residual of $300 a month, or 75 or $60 per week, depending on if it's a 4 Friday month or a 5 Friday month. And then, of course, 16 is 800. 30 is life for 1600. 70 is life for 3,000. 150 is life for 5,000. And guys, look, if you all will, in your markets, if you'll start your meetings, if you'll plug people into the webinars, I tell you what, like some of you all might get on webinars every now and then or whatever. Guys, look, take my word on this. Webinars must become a part of your building process. It's got to be an integral part of your life if you're going to effectively build a business. Why? Because it's two things, okay? Number one, the webinar is going to keep you sharp, keep you excited, okay? Now, some of you all say, well, I've already seen the information, okay? The second thing is that the webinars are ultimately, presentation webinars are for who? They're ultimately for brand new people that you're introducing the business to. So that's one thing that is very important, is that you're actually introducing new people to the business. But the most important thing, I believe, is that you're leading by example. If you ever, this is the reason I never, ever, ever miss a webinar, whether I'm presenting or not. Of course, if I'm presenting, I'm there. But whether I'm presenting or not, I never miss a webinar. And I'm going to tell you why. I've got a huge team that's on these webinars. Okay. And if they ever, what do you think happens if my team, for whatever reason, does not see me on a webinar? Then they look at that, and that's me training them, because if the webinar is not important enough for me to be on, what's my team going to think? Well, I don't need to be on it. And now all of a sudden they're going to teach their team not to get on the webinar because I inadvertently taught them not to get on the webinar. So again, folks, that is very important that you understand. You must lead by example, and you've got to do the things that you expect for your people to do. Then guess what? Your organization, when you effectively do that, will duplicate. And as it duplicates, if you're consistent in plugging in and doing your meetings and that kind of thing, you know what's going to happen? By default, over time, these numbers are going to build if you're working toward it. So that's very important. So again, all of the rules of the comp plan are here. And you can actually send this to a person through your app. Okay. So how do you do that? Well, of course, you click on the compensation plan, and it is going to pull it up. And then, of course, I'm on an Apple device here. You can actually share it however you want to. I can copy this link and I can text it over to a person, or I can actually send it through, messaging, and it'll send this document over. So that's great, because when you get somebody on a webinar, you talk to them. If they're money motivated, we talked to a fantastic guy last night. And what was the first thing that we did? We sent this comp plan over to him. Why? So he could play around with it and understand it. Because, hey, if you got anybody that understands this remotely, they're going to get excited, and they'll have their two before they know it. And you know what's so significant about our comp plan is that, and it says it in writing, it only takes one member on the left and one member on the right active in order to qualify for this entire comp plan. Now, the rest of this document, it tells you, the rules of the travel dollars and how they work. It explains all of the key terms and concepts. All of that is here. One thing that you might do if you're going to be meeting with people face to face is print this document out and keep copies with you as well. So that's pretty much the information of the app. One thing that I would do is, guys, be sure that you take time in here to really understand your benefits of the app, because again, this is very, very significant. This can save you literally thousands of dollars. And a lot of people that get involved never even go in here to see what they have, available to them. So take some time. Like, let me give you a for instance, okay? Like member deals. If I click on member deals, it opens up a whole new world as far as, what is available to me. Okay. So you always want to, stay up on what's in here, because you might be going somewhere where you might want to go see a show, you might want movie tickets in your local area or whatever. You can save 25% there. So that is very, very important. Now, let me go to my chat and see if I've got any questions here. Let me see. Let me see. Jonathan says, I'm confused. You say 5 members on the left, 5 members on the right qualify for free life, not considered a paid membership would be 300. Yes, Jonathan, that is absolutely right. And the reason is this, okay? When a person, in fact, let me turn my video back on here. When a person actually, if I'm in your group and let's say that I've got my 2, the company can only pay on money that comes into the company. Okay, so if I'm one of your 5 and I get my 2, now you've got 7. The next billing period, I'm not going to have to pay because I've got 2. So I just traded 1 in your business for 2. Now, if guys, it's important though that you get this and you understand. If you're not in a pattern of growth, and you have somebody qualify with their 2, they don't have to pay, but they brought 2 that did have to pay. But you must stay in a pattern of growth, because you might have one of those 2 that for whatever reason say, well, I don't have anything to plug into, my sponsor just kind of left me or whatever, I'm not traveling enough to justify this, and they might stop their membership. Well, if they stop their membership, guess what? That takes your free qualification away, or my free qualification away. And, but I still will have to pay that next month. But my point, guys, is this. If you'll keep your business in a pattern of growth for 24 months, okay, don't let up. Because see, in this comp plan, what I've noticed is that people get to income a whole lot quicker and easier in this comp plan than anything I've ever seen in my 30 years of being involved. And what happens is I've seen people get to 800 a month, 1,600 a month, and they think it's done. 3,000 a month even. And they think, man, I'm done. I don't have to, push any further. Well, actually, you're just getting started in this comp plan, because what takes you to 1,600 a month here wouldn't pay you anything in most comp plans as far as residual is concerned. So even though that's a lot of money for this business, you have to look at it like, 1,600, I'm just getting started. Now my work began. So I would tell you guys, look at every one person that in your mind, you might say that you've lost because they're free. Look at that like they've traded their 1 for 2. Okay, so the only way that I can waive my membership is to bring 2 paying members. Then the way that those 2 paying members can waive their membership is that they bring 4 paying members. And how can those 4 waive their memberships? They have to bring 8 paying members. So that is the deal of it, guys. But guess what? It's not that easy. You can't take 6 months and expect for your business to be built. We're going to have to duplicate 2. It might take us 5 years for some of us to start maxing out this comp plan. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking, man, 5 years is a long time. Well, let me ask you this, okay? What were you doing 5 years ago, and did it create $500,000 a month for you and your family? No, it didn't. So the bottom line, guys, is this: 5 years is a short period of time. I can look back 5 years. That time goes by very, very quickly. So why not? Let's pull out all stops, guys, and see where we can take this thing over the next 5 years. So that's it. So Jonathan, I hope that clears it up, man. It's different from anything else. But again, I love the fact that we can get people to income very quickly, but we do have to manage it in our minds. And, even though you might be at 800 or 1,600 or 3,000, you're just getting started, guys. Where in most comp plans, that's kind of the ceiling of what, 90% of people get to. So that's what Wes has put together. And that's a really, really big deal. So let me see if it's any other questions that I need to address before. I'm going to tell you how much I believe in this. I'm in Memphis right now. I'm getting ready to go to Illinois. As soon as I finish this training, I'm headed up the road to Illinois, be back in Memphis on Monday. go spend Thanksgiving. And guys, I'm telling you, we are going to aggressively get this thing done because, the bottom line is 24 months to 60 months, it's over. The time you would pay for a car, you can get rich. Okay. Look at it that way. All right. So let me see. And Jonathan, you're certainly welcome, man. We're looking forward to making this thing happen for you. All right, so that's it. I guess no other questions. Let's go, Illinois. Absolutely right. So let's see. Can you repeat what we have to do when we send out the link? Kelvin, I really appreciate that. I will. Okay. Let's see. Robert, we are going to be in, we're going to kind of be floating around in Southern Illinois, not far from where you are. So, Robert, let me do this. I'm going to give you my cell phone number and we will, you reach out to me and we'll get together maybe while I'm up there. And anything that we do too, Robert, we'll let you know, and you may be able to bring somebody out. But that's my cell phone number. If anybody, one other thing I'll tell you guys too is this: we're getting ready to start a Thursday night in Atlanta, Georgia. I've secured a very, very nice location for us. It's in the middle of Buckhead. It's in Buckhead Club. So we'll be doing that as well. So we'll get that information out. And if you know anybody in Atlanta, send us a guest and let us do the rest. All that we'll provide there are, drinks for those people. But we are gonna, we're starting Atlanta and we're gonna grow a huge meeting there, as well. So we're looking forward to it. But Robert, reach out to me in about an hour or so, and I'll let you know exactly what the plan is and what we're doing. Okay, so all right, so we're going to repeat what you need to do to send out the link. Okay, so let me do this real quick. Go back to my iPad here, and I'll show you exactly what we do. Okay, so all right, so now you'll go to the menu all the way over to the right, and when you click that menu, then, of course, it brings this page up here. Now, your share link, no, I'm sorry. Your share link is actually located in contacts, okay? So if we go to contacts here, you'll see the share link, this yellow button at the bottom. When you click the share link, there are several options that you can actually do. So if you want to send the sign up link, you can either copy the link here or you can send it out as a text message. When you click this, it'll create the text message with the unique link for that person. So when you type in their name, it'll send that link and it'll be done. Okay, so is that clear, Kelvin? Now, the other link that you're going to want to send out is, hang on a second, let me go back here. The other link that I send out a lot is a compensation plan. So when you click the comp plan, it'll pull it up. And then, of course, you can share it that same way. You can either copy that link or you can click message and it'll send it over to a person that way. Okay, so I hope, okay, great. So guys, you just have to get on your cell phone and practice this. But once you get it down, once you get comfortable with it, then, it'll kind of be second nature for you. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody being on. I hope you guys are ready for the holidays. We are going to definitely be on. The corporate call is going to be exciting tomorrow with the, new announcement that Wes mentioned. In addition to that, we're going to have the presentation. We're going to do presentations this week on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays only. We're going to give you Wednesday night off. Of course, Thursday is Thanksgiving. So we're going to see you guys tomorrow. And with that, we certainly appreciate it. Let's see, one other thing is what is a member only and influencer only. If you only want to send a person a link to sign up to be a member only for $1.99, you can send that one. If you want to send a link for them to be an influencer only for $20, $19.99, you can send that specific link out as well. Okay, does that make sense, Jonathan? Yes. Okay. So you can start a person either way. It really doesn't matter. You can start them at 20. They can upgrade to membership. You can start them at member only if they don't want to be an influencer. You've got all options there. Okay. All right, guys. So, hey, we appreciate you all being on. You guys have a great Saturday. And again, those of you in Memphis, fantastic job. I'm so proud of y'all. I don't know what to do. We got special recognition tomorrow night. Guys, hey, we're about to take it to Illinois and all over the country. So you guys have a great one, and thanks a lot for being on.